Hey everybody, I'm John Siskovich, and if you've been following along with this summer, you have seen that I've been out in the field doing some linger grazing and plotting and planning and analyzing what movements I'm doing around farm. We have a rotationally based livestock system here, and I went up and took some drone photos from the air, and I figured we would look at the grazing that we've been doing on the ground from above, and I'm going to give you this week my perspective on how I plan that rotation and kind of how it fits into the farm on a high level. And then in future weeks, we'll get into the actual grazing planning, timing, and strategy of it. But for today, we're going to look at the first broiler rotation, which is very exciting. I have birds out on grass, and let's jump right into it. All right, so we are pretty much in the middle of the farm facing south. And right here, we see on the edge of the field are my 3 chicken tractors, smaller batch this year, running some experiments. Love to do that. And breweries right here. I have water and infrastructure all right there. Very convenient. Excellent place for me to begin. So let's go over why I put them in that field, what benefits I get from having them there, what their plan is for the future, and then where I'm going to collect them on processing day. It's really straightforward, really easy. With a batch of broilers, they're only going about 350 feet down the field, 350, 400 feet. So why I stuck them in this field in particular? We are in a valley that is very wet, and when it rains, the rain sheets down into our property. And at the beginning of the season, I always start my first rotations in this field because it's the higher point on the farm, and it's guaranteed, kind of guaranteed, to be dry first. And it's a great place for me to start birds, livestock, whatever, something that's going to have minimal impact on the field. Like I don't put my pigs out here. I put them out back. If they're a little wet, that's fine. But the broilers, this is a good straight shot run for them to be public, to be near my infrastructure, and to be on dry ground. Now, for water, I have a spigot over here, right down in that area, and I run a hose through the field to my broilers, where it's just a garden hose with a full flow valve on the end that I'm able to fill up their buckets, and water is easy on a day-to-day basis. Because the hose sits in the field, I drain all the warm water out of it when I go to fill the birds so they have nice cool water. But with water access right there, it's like 2 or 3 lengths of a 100-foot hose, and I'm good for the season because that one hose can stretch into that entire area. Now, for access, I have a road right here down in the bottom, and I can walk or drive out. I also have a road coming off the road where I don't have to drive across the field to get to my birds. I try to minimize the ATV and tractor traffic out in the field to avoid compaction and keep my soil microbes healthy. And then as far as what the broilers are going to do, they started under this poplar tree, and then they're heading down the field in that direction. Now, if my chicken tractors are 10 feet long and you typically raise a Cornish cross broiler for 56 days, it's 18 to 21 days in the broiler, in the brooder, and about 35 days out in the field. So 10 feet times 35 is 350. And if you figure there's some fudge room in there, you might have to make a weird move, say 400 feet. And you don't need to have a straight run. If you needed to, especially with a small batch of broilers, you can go in any configuration that makes sense for your piece of property. Because of the flexibility of them being in their own shelter and not needing to have hard infrastructure anywhere, they kind of stand alone, do their thing. They have a fence charger that just lives with the chicken tractors. I can put them wherever I want and make them go and travel in any direction that they want. So they'll be heading from the north to the south, and that is significant for me because one reason in particular is that my primary bad weather comes out of the north by northwest and blows across the farm. And if you see down here, if the wind and weather is coming from that direction, they have 3/4 of the chicken tractor in order to get out of the weather and stay safe and dry if bad weather comes up. Sometimes I get weather out of the south, but that's blocked a lot by this tree line. And again, the full tarped from edge to edge chicken tractor, make sure that they always have a dry, safe area to evade predators. Even though there's electric around it, staying not visible to predators is a good thing. And staying out of the weather, adverse weather, is always a plus. Now I find a huge advantage in having the drone to be able to take pictures to get that bird's eye view of my birds. It's, humans have dreamt about it for millennia, being able to control flight in a bird. That's why we have airplanes and drones now. The drone was like $2,000, but it is priceless for me to have this view of my farm and be able to convey this information to my friends, the people I work with, my mom, who is the one who always watches the videos first up on YouTube. And yeah, it's been fantastic. So that's my broiler rotation. If you have more questions on this, because I'm kind of shooting from the hip here, I didn't script this at all. I just took this one photograph. Leave them in the comment section below. It helps me tailor my content going forward. And then the rest of this week, if you're following this live, we're going to go over the ducks, the pigs, the goats, and the egg layers. And it's going to be awesome and great and good. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope this video helped you even just a little bit. Take care of yourselves, and if you can, somebody else. Until next time, I will see you out in the field. I can't do the palm up on the camera. I'm hooked up to a microphone. I'm going to have to run up.